On November 22, 1963, in Dallas, Texas, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Just 2 hours later, Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as president aboard Air Force One with Jackie Kennedy standing beside him. This swearing-in ceremony is a prime example of rhetorical situation. What is rhetorical situation? Lloyd Vitzer defines rhetorical situation as a complex of persons, events, objects, and relations presenting an actual or potential exigence which can be completely or partially removed if discourse, introduced into the situation, can so constrain human decision or action as to bring about significant modification of the exigence. Each situation requires a different exigence, a decisive point where a response is invited or required. Therefore, the message the speaker is trying to convey will be catered to the environment at the time. In the list that defines rhetorical situation, Vitzer first recognizes the complex of persons and relations. The key players in the aftermath of the tragic death of President Kennedy include President Johnson, former First Lady Jackie Kennedy, and the people of America. 2 hours after the death of the president, Johnson is sworn in as president with Mrs. Kennedy by his side.
At 2:38 in the forward cabin of Air Force One, a necessary ceremony.
I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God.
Jackie Kennedy appears in the attire she wore during the shooting earlier that day and is covered in her husband's blood. The American people loved and respected Jackie. Therefore, when she stood by President Johnson in her bloody clothes, it showed America that she embraced the new president and that the American people should put their faith in the new leader during a time of turmoil. Vitzer also mentioned that events define the rhetorical situation. At this point, the president had just been assassinated during the height of the Cold War, and 2 hours later the new president was being sworn in. While being sworn in, President Johnson's tone was formal yet somber. He knew that he must reassure the American people that there was order in the country, and also show Russia that America was strong as ever. Lastly, Vitzer mentioned that objects could define a rhetorical situation. The plane that President Johnson was sworn in on was the SAM 26000 and turns into Air Force One when the president is on board. The transformation of the plane's name from SAM 26000 to Air Force One represents the official acceptance of power and leadership of America. If the surroundings of the speaker are not respected through rhetoric or action, the content of the speech will most likely be disregarded, and the speaker will lose all credibility.